on, another day, another showdown over the national emblem. While the new parliament, the pride of India, should have united our nation, the opposition was quick to find faults. They say that the basic character of Ashoka's lion capital has been tampered with to depict aggression and bared fangs, instead of majesty and peace. While some have gone to the extent of calling it the transition from Satyamev Jayate to Sanghamev Jayate, others say it depicts the change from Gandhi to Godse. Let's show you the differences. And these pictures, in fact, were shared by many leaders in the opposition parties, trying to highlight the difference between the 28 BC Ashok Stamp and the one that has been installed on the new parliament and was unveiled by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And this is the description of the opposition. As far as the Ashok Stamp is concerned, it's smiling. In the other picture, it can be seen snarling. The mouth is closed in the original one. And in the replica or the adaptation, as the BJP is calling it, the mouth is open, teeth not bared in the original one. Fangs can be seen in the adaptation or replica. The demeanor is calm, whereas in the other one, it is aggressive. Satyamev Jayate is inscribed. Satyamev Jayate is not inscribed in the new emblem, or as is being called by the opposition, Modi's version or the government's version. However, the opposition accuses the NDA of changing the emblem to represent its own aggressive governance. Listen in.
You should understand that it was built by Ashoka the Great, right? And that pillar was at Sarnath, was the place historically where Gautam Buddha had given his first sermon. Why don't the BJP and the RSS people understand that the elephant, the lion and the bull and the horse, they signify liberty, equality, fraternity and justice. It signifies courage and justice. It also tells you that Parliament is supreme. Speaker is supreme. No, inside the Parliament, it is the Speaker who is supreme, not the Prime Minister of India.
All these emblems, emblems, they all had been thoroughly discussed, and after that they had been established. They had been finalized by the successive leadership in last 70 years. So I think any kind of tampering in these symbols or, these Rashtriya Pratik should not be done.
Well, the BJP is calling it an adaptation. The BJP is saying the emblem is an accurate replica of the Ashoka lion capital. And here is the reason why that is being said. BJP says the size has been changed, the design has not been changed. The Ashok Stamp is 1.6 meter high, whereas the emblem on top of the Sansad is 6.5 meters high. BJP contends if an exact replica was to be mounted, it would not have been visible. Now, as far as the original Ashok Stamp is concerned, it was set up at ground level. The emblem on top of the Sansad is at a height of 33 meters from ground. The BJP contends that the dimensions had to be changed to make it visible. The original Ashok Stamp pillar can be seen at 6.5 meters. As far as the one on top of the Sansad is concerned, is being viewed from a low angle. So BJP is saying that, it looks different since it's low angle. This was said by Union Minister Hardeep Puri. As far as others in the BJP are concerned, they are saying on the reactions coming in from the opposition that it's a desperate opposition that has no other issues and it is only running out of issues. That's why politicizing the emblem.
जिन लोगों ने संविधान को अपने पैरों तले कुचला, जिन लोगों ने संवैधानिक परंपराओं का मजाक उड़ाया, आज वो उस एम्बलम से डरते हैं जो भारत का प्रतीक है, जो भारत का गौरव है।
प्रॉब्लम ये है ना कि शेर, और वो भी मोदी जी, शेर और उस पे सवा शेर, तो देख करके डर तो जाएंगे ही, वो तो क्रिटिसाइज करने लगेंगे भाई, क्योंकि मोदी जी तो शेर है ही, और उसके बाद एक शेर का उन्होंने वो भी देख लिया चिन्ह भी, तो और भी चिंता हो जाती।
वो क्या कहें, कुछ ना कुछ तो कहना है, तो इसलिए वो कुछ ना कुछ भौंकते रहते हैं। उनके भौंकने से फर्क नहीं पड़ता, देश जान चुका है इस बात को।
You heard the opposition, you also heard the rebuttals. Now let's listen to the creator of the emblem himself. The creator says design is authentic, only the size varies. Even the former ASI chief backs his contention. Listen.
ये एंगल से अगर हम देखेंगे तो उसका कैरेक्टर बदल जाता है, और सेम एंगल से वो फोटो लिया गया है बियॉन्ड मतलब जो ग्राउंड लेवल से। तो अगर हम दूर से उसका इमेज लेते तो ये डिक्टो मैंने जो राष्ट्रीय एम्ब्लेम है उसका कॉपी किया है। मेरा ऐसा कोई पर्पस नहीं है कि ये स्कल्पचर में ये एक्सप्रेशन या मुझे किसी ने प्रेशर नहीं किया है कि ये एक्सप्रेशन दो। इसमें आर्टिस्ट कोई इंटरेस्टेड भी नहीं होता है। मैंने जो ऑथेंटिक है वो मैंने किया है। गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से मुझे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं मिला है। ये मुझे TPL टाटा प्रोजेक्ट लिमिटेड से दिया गया है। डायरेक्ट गवर्नमेंट से मेरा कोई ये नहीं है इसमें।
एक 7 फीट के या 8 फीट के लाइन कैपिटल की बात है और जहाँ एक 20, 21, 22 फीट ऊंचे लाइन कैपिटल की बात है, तो वहाँ एक आर्टिस्ट पर्सपेक्टिव में देखता है। जो फोटोग्राफ्स वगैरह मैंने देखी उसके आधार पे मुझे यही लगता है कि ये उसकी अच्छी कॉपी तैयार करने का प्रयास किया गया है।
So you heard the creator. The creator says, I have not changed the expressions. The size varies, yes, but the design is authentic. Let's open this up and let's go across to our guests. Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson of the BJP, joins us in the broadcast. Arima Sundaram, senior lawyer, is also part of the panel tonight. Dr. Anand Ranganathan and Tehseen Poonawala continue to be with us. We are also joined by Dr. Kakoli Ghosh, National Spokesperson and MP of TMC. Good evening to all of you. Sanju Verma, my first question is to you, since the allegation is against the government of changing the national symbols, emblems. Mr. Sanjay of the Aam Aadmi Party, Sanjay Singh, says, shouldn't such people be called anti-national? Are they not anti-national who are changing the national symbols? You have changed the design. The opposition says this is a replica of your governance. Why are the lions aggressive?
You know, Swati, I'm reminded of that famous, song of Bob Dylan. Do not criticize what you cannot understand. But coming to your question, and on a more serious note, I think today Hardeep Puri, he's put out a Twitter thread completely exposing the narrative of the pseudo-left liberals and nailing every lie that has been put out by this Lafyans Lashkar lobby. Foremost, very quickly, the original Sarnath emblem standalone height is 1.6 meters. This, the one that we are talking of, which will be on top of the new parliament building, is 6.5 meters standalone length. And when you see it from the ground, it is actually at a height of 33 meters, weighing 9,500 kgs. So as Hardeep Puri very rightly said, please ensure that when you criticize, you take into account the impact of size, angle, height, proportion, what have you. Point number 2, आज हमको nationalism पर कौन भाषण दे रहा है? The same lot which has a problem not only saying भारत माता की जय, but which has a problem saying that जनगण मन नहीं गाइए, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. वंदे मातरम मत बोलिए, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. सरपंच से जुदा बोलिए, that is your freedom of expression. So we don't need endorsement from this particular lobby on what needs to be done. Point number 3, Article 74, 75, 79 of the Indian Constitution lays down the separation of powers between executive, legislature and judiciary. And I challenge anybody on your panel to tell me which provision under Article 74, 75 or 79 was flouted by Prime Minister Narendra Modi when he did the inauguration of the cast of that emblem. Point number 4, and something which your audience needs to know, that in November 2020, from the Prime Minister's office and the relevant bodies, there was an invite sent out to key leaders of the opposition, including Ghulam Nabi Azad and Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary.
Okay.
But they refused to attend the Bhumi Pujan, which was done in December 2020. And, I will just wind up by asking a few questions, Swati. People say, speaker's powers are paramount, and he should be the one who should have done that inauguration yesterday. So I will repeat, between Article 93 to 96, the powers of the speaker as the presiding officer of Loksabha are very well elucidated. So please educate yourself before criticizing. But, when Indira Gandhi in October 1975 inaugurated the annex of the new parliament, annex of the parliament building at that point in time, nobody objected. On 15th August 1987, Rajiv Gandhi inaugurated the new library of the parliament building, then nobody objected.
Okay.
And one more very interesting point. apparently Jawaharlal Nehru is the only Prime Minister of India to have unveiled a portrait in the inner chambers of the Loksabha. There are 25 portraits in all. And you will be surprised to know 20 of those portraits were unveiled by either Congress ruled government, Congress ruled Prime Minister, or people whom they supported.
Okay. As far as reactions of respective inaugurations that happened during the Congress regime when Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister or Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister, I'll reserve that for round 2 of the face-off. Let me first take a reaction from Dr. Ghosh on what you said were unwarranted comments when it came from the opposition on the emblem on top of the Sansad. Dr. Ghosh, as far as the creator is concerned, the creator or the artist says that I have not changed the design, the size has changed. The government is saying you're comparing a 2D print image to a 3D sculpture. So there'll be differences. You're watching it from a very low angle. So maybe it's because of the difference in perspectives. How do you respond?
You see, what I would first say is that after so much of bloodshed and so much of killing, Samrat Ashoka, he wanted peace. He took up Buddhism and he, just to preach peace, he made this at Sarnath, where these lions, including other animals, were put up. Those lions are calm, quiet, the 4 Asian lions back to back. They give you a regal feeling. Now, whichever artist has made this, he knows nothing of art. And he is a novice who's, I don't know how he got this order to make this.
He said the government didn't give me the order, a private firm did.
It's a horrible, aggressive, fighting kind of lion with open mouths, totally D-shaped. Look at the one that has been there for ages, since 2050 BC, on the left side of your screen. And look at this horrible one, D-shaped, unproportionate, and with open mouth, popping eyes, just like the Bharatiya Janata Party. It's got an aggressive look. You feel scared of it. It is a total misnomer, and this is an insult to the Sarnath temple's Ashoka Stupa, on which this lion capital was placed. It is in Sarnath now. Now these Bharatiya Janata Party leaders, they think shouting, abusing, and just trying to bulldoze the opposition will win them the hearts of the people. No, it won't. They have trampled upon the cooperative federalism for so many years now, and just by the virtue of their numbers, they are now trying to distort the history, which is absolutely not acceptable.
Okay, so this is aggressive governance of the BJP, which is reflecting in the lines you're saying. You're also saying that the artist knows nothing about this art. Well, he's the next speaker, so he should go ahead and respond.
Yeah, I prefer to sing songs of peace than to flop movies like Singham, which promote violence. So I agree absolutely with you. I'm a peacenik in the true sense, my friend Anand. But let me come to the crux of the issue. The crux of the issue is not whether the lion is smiling or it's not smiling. Anand, just to correct you, the Billy and the lion both come from the cat family. So that's not the crux of the issue. The crux of the issue is simply this. The Honourable Prime Minister thought it not fit to have the opposition present there. Now, all the instances that Sanju Verma ji, the BJP spokesperson, has laid down, first of all, she is factually wrong, which I will correct her. The opposition was present. For example, the library that she was talking about was the Bhumi Pujan was done by President V.V. Giri on April 3rd, 1970. Here, the President of India was not even present, and the library and the NXC that she's talking about, and the library, the Bhumi Pujan was done by Shivraj Patil, the Speaker, on April 17, 1994, and the same library was inaugurated on May 7, 2002 by the President of India. Here, the Speaker was made to sit behind. The opposition wasn't invited, and even if your baseless charges of what Indira ji did or Rajiv ji did holds true, I thought this was a new India. Why do you hold what they did wrong as something that has to be wrong? The fact is the parliament represents us, we the people. The parliament is answerable to the opposition, and it is run on the name of the President of India. To not have the President there, to not have the opposition there, I think this is an insult to the sovereignty and to the parliament that represents us, we the people.
Okay, it's an insult to the sovereignty and the parliament. Sanju Verma, respond.
You know, Swati, I always say that, sometimes silence is golden. And in the case of Tehseen Poonawala, he's made a complete mockery of himself. I will not say he's made a fool of himself. V.V. Giri died on the 24th of June 1980. The Library of the Parliament.
I said NXC, I corrected myself. April 3rd, August 3rd, 1970, NXC. I corrected myself. Can you please tell I corrected myself?
She can hear you. She can hear you. Sanju Verma, he corrected himself.
Yes, I talked about the NXC.
Let me please finish.
The NXC Bhumi Pujan was done by the then President of India, V.V. Giri, on August 3rd, 1970. Just for your
Okay. She has other objections as well. Go ahead, Sanju Verma.
Yes. Swati, Tehseen did not correct himself on the date. Rajiv Gandhi inaugurated this particular library in the Parliament on 15th August 1987.
No, the foundation was laid by him. It was inaugurated by the President. You're wrong.
So stop saying that V.V. Giri inaugurated it. Don't make a fool of yourself on national television. Now I will come to the more important point. Swati, the TMC made some allegations. The BJP is aggressive. We have been called a party that is very abrasive. Even Hitler Shahi. One of their TMC leaders who was with JDU, Pawan Verma, said that the new parliament building is an example of architectural megalomania. I will tell you what megalomania is. Megalomania is when the Prime Minister during COVID holds repeat meetings and Mamata Banerjee chooses not to attend one. Megalomania is when the Prime Minister goes to visit a cyclone-affected West Bengal and forget Mamata Banerjee. She did not even allow the Chief Secretary to receive the Prime Minister at the airport. Megalomania is when on Parakram Divas on 23rd January, Netaji Bose's anniversary celebration, Prime Minister is sitting there and Mamata Banerjee has the audacity to walk away in a huff simply because somebody chanted Jai Shri Ram.
Okay, how is that connected to the issue that we are debating, Sanju Verma?
Megalomania, Swati, 10 seconds. Megalomania is best exhibited when on 7th May, you have Rabindranath Tagore Jayanti celebrations and Mamata Banerjee lies that she was not invited till her book is gone. So don't give us bhashan.
Okay, I'll go across to Dr. Ghosh. I'm coming to you for a response, but I first want to go across to Mr. Sundaram. Mr. Sundaram, is it really about this difference in perspective and angles when it comes to the emblems, or is it really more about difference in perspectives and angles in politics?
Look, where is the doubt about it? You're making a mountain out of a molehill. Here is a case where an opposition has tried to find every way in which to criticize the government. You can't fault them for it because that is politics. And that is what any opposition would do, whoever the government is in power or whoever the opposition is. But my point is, we are coming from the sublime to the ridiculous. I mean, a thing like this, to create such a scene about it. After all, there is a national emblem. The emblem of 4 lions' heads. There is no disrespect being shown to the national emblem. A particular sculpture, according to someone, portrays a slight difference from the original Sarnath lions. But what is our national emblem? It is the 4 lions and what the lions depict. Now, if the objection is, why is this lion's tooth bigger than that lion's tooth, and why is this lion looking like it has a bigger chest than that lion? Surely, I mean, this is something which should really be wasting the time. What we're really doing is, we've come to a stage where, you want anything to criticize a government, so you grab hold of anything you can find, and you almost like wake up today and say, today what can we criticize the government on? I'm not finding fault with this particular opposition, but I'm saying unfortunately it's become the situation today that this is what oppositions feel they should do. They should be criticizing on any issue at all. Yeah. Now finally, let me just say one thing. What is the issue now? The issue is, here is a sculpture made of a lion in a size which has never been made before. The original sculpture was a much smaller one, 1/6 the size. So far as in the Constitution, emblem which is shown is a 2-dimensional and not 3-dimensional. So long as your basic emblem is the same, if there's a slight variation here or there, if a tooth is longer or not, well, I just think this is much ado about nothing. And I think this just seems to be nothing but politicking and unnecessary politicking, if you ask me.
Unnecessary politicking.
Especially when an objection is sought to be raised about the Especially, let me say one more thing.
Okay,
especially when an objection is being sought to be raised about the Prime Minister unveiling it. I mean, who else? He's the leader of the House. He is the leader of the House. He's the elected leader of the people. The people have elected him as the leader in India. He's the leader of the House. Yes, the Speaker is master of what goes on in the legislature. But surely, to open the Parliament House to have the statue unveiled, if the leader of the House does it, the Prime Minister of India, who's been elected by the people of India as their leader, does it, what is there to criticize?
Okay.
I mean, look, we are going into areas where we are criticizing anything at all for no reason at all.
Okay. Criticizing things for no reason at all. I know Dr. Ranganathan wants to come in, Sanju Verma and Tehseen also want to come in, but I'm completely out of time. Sorry, I can't give you even a second more. Thank you very much for having the debate. Thank you very much for joining us.